1 in 3. That's how many American men will face physical violence, sexual assault, or stalking by an intimate partner. 1 in 3 women worldwide will endure physical or sexual abuse, most often by someone they know. But domestic abuse isn't just bruises. It's manipulation, it's fear, it's control that seeps into every part of your life. I'm Ingrid Dutton, and I survived it. Then I created 1 in 3 so no one else has to suffer in silence. Each week, we break that silence together. Occasionally joined by survivors, loved ones, and experts, we talk about the pain, yes, but also about the healing, resilience, and the fight to reclaim your life. This podcast is more than awareness, it's a lifeline. And a reminder, you are seen, you are heard, you are never alone. Search for 1 in 3 wherever you get your podcasts, because every voice matters and every story deserves to be heard. According to the United States 2019 Census Bureau, there are over 24.5 million Asians, Pacific Islanders, and Native Hawaiians in the United States. There are 75 countries represented from the Asian continent of the Eastern, Southeastern, and South Asia, plus the Pacific Islands of Melanesia, Micronesia, and Polynesia. We comprise 7% of the population in the United States.
Pinoy.
Well, not just the Filipinos.
I know, but I'm just saying that.
This group is the fastest growing racial group in the United States.
Pinoy.
Mabuhay, Philippines! Magandang umaga! Welcome to another situation.
Yay, Mom!
Kumusta ka, Mom?
Mabuti?
Bien, that's Spanish. And
Magandang umaga, sister.
magandang umaga. Maganda ka, Mama and sister.
Salamat.
Oh, Pita.
Mahal kita, sister.
I love you too.
Aw. So, this is Ingrid.
Oh, and this is Jessica. And
Mom.
Mom.
Welcome. You all get to meet our mother.
This is a very exciting day.
We all have the same stupid grin on our face.
It's not stupid. It's Mom's pretty smile.
It is Mom's pretty smile with the dimples. My dimples are more pronounced than Ingrid's, but...
So, quick apology. We kind of rearranged our organization for episodes. We were going to do paranormal.
Which we will be doing. Speaking of paranormal noises.
We are going to be doing paranormal. We've moved it to next week. The reason we switched it around is because our mom is visiting me right now. So we decided to, what's the word?
Interview her? Talk with her?
No.
I don't know. Well, what are you looking
You're
for?
like trying to
spotlight?
Not showcase, no.
Celebrate the Asian Pacific.
Yes.
What else? That's not what I was. I'll think of it by the end of the podcast.
Oh, jeez. I do have one thing that I didn't say from last episode that I wanted to add. Can I say it now?
Yes.
Okay. So one of the things that also made me think that it might have been some not intentional, unintentionally racially motivated, completely unintentional, is there's a clip in that strange summer where NBC showed the two women's faces. And so above their name or above their pictures was supposed to be their names, and they had the name swapped. So like NBC, big NBC had the names wrong above the pictures. So, right?
I did not notice that, but I will say that Mom and I watched, what is it again?
The documentary, That Strange Summer?
That Strange
Did
Summer.
you?
We watched it.
Okay.
So I took some notes. here are a few things that we came across.
Well, it was at like minute, let me tell you, it was at minute 14 minutes and 18 seconds and that where they showed the names were wrong. Sorry. Okay,
Okay.
go ahead. I'm done.
So there were a few things. So number one, was it Nancy Jacobs or what, the supervisor?
Betty Jackham.
Okay. Sorry, Nancy Jacobs. One thing that she, when they talked about her, like you mentioned, it never was investigated further. She admitted to it. But hold on a second. Not Nancy.
Betty. Thanks, Mom.
Betty referred to the ICU patients as her little vegetable garden.
Oh, that's right. She did.
So one thought that we had was perhaps she had just a disdain for the profession, the VA, the patients, just everything. And perhaps that would have been her motive.
Or it was like an angel of mercy kind of thing.
Oh, I suppose that could be that as well. So another thing is, I think we did talk about it a little bit. There's, the Vietnam hate. So you have this unidentified white guy in scrubs who's around the unit or the hospital. So maybe that's somebody that was like hated Vietnam and wanted to make a big protest and decided to take out the veteran.
Oh, huh. I didn't even think about that option.
Right. And then,
It'd have to be someone in the medical field.
Perhaps he was mislabeling the medications or something.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing that they mentioned is that these two Filipina nurses were always, and maybe not always, but oftentimes they were noted to be in the room after it was brought to the attention that these patients weren't breathing. But of course,
PI was not.
Yes, but of course, though, because if a patient's coding, everybody runs to the room. If it's your patient, you're in the room.
Right.
So I don't think that should have been anything that really played into why they would be guilty.
That could just mean that they're very good nurses.
Yeah, right.
Quite the opposite of accused of.
A few other things. So the whole needle in pocket, you did mention that. Mm-hmm. So they had asked her, could you see a needle in the pocket? And she said if it was a big needle, every time. So they had asked her if, would somebody be able to see a needle in the pocket? And she said, if it's a large needle, yes. And I'm not sure who this woman was. I didn't pay attention when she was introduced. She had like kind of chin length gray hair. Anyway, she said, I'm not sure why she would answer that way and not explain herself further. She should have said, well, yes, you could see a larger needle, but I wouldn't have had that in my pocket. But then in the very next take, they're interviewing the family member of the gentleman who had died. Mm-hmm. And she said, these are strict yes or no answers. So these people can't go beyond. So they were making an excuse for the witnesses that were called to the stand they were only allowed to say yes or no answers. But then when she gave that answer, why didn't she elaborate? She should have, if she were not guilty, she should have elaborated.
So it was the same person that said that?
No, it was different people, but it it just made me think, I wonder if that was double standard. And then two more things that I noticed is when the FBI agent said he was taking the statement from the patient was intubated, so he could not speak.
Yes.
And he said, we were able to determine what he was saying through motions, not even that he wrote down his statement.
Oh, I thought he wrote down PI.
I think the daughter said that, but I think the FBI agent said he was making motions to indicate which nurse, and he was making hand motions like an IV, like somebody was putting something in his IV.
Well, yeah, that's what everyone thought.
Well, right. But I'm saying you can't take a statement.
Right. I didn't
based on charades.
Pretty sure this guy is never going to listen to our podcast. I was not a fan of that.
No, I was not a fan of him either. And one other thing that I found very interesting is the reporter, who is like super cool and very open to.
Was he the one in the bar, or was he the dude from the New York Times?
The dude with like the longer hair.
He's the dude from the New York Times.
Yeah. So he said that he snuck on to the unit. The FBI was there.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And he was able to sneak in and go and look at things and sit down and talk with people.
Mm-hmm.
So as veterans are getting murdered by an unknown person, you were a stranger who's not identified as a medical staff personnel, was able to get into the hospital and wander around without being questioned.
Yeah. No
So anyway.
security whatsoever. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that back up.
Yes. And
I brought up what I forgot to admit, but
are you thinking yourself? Pat on my own back.
No, I knew I was going to bring that up because, like, actually, I think it was when I was listening to the podcast when it came out, because sometimes I do listen to us. I was like, oh, crap. This is like one of my big points of like the unintentional racism that was happening. And not unintentional. There's a different word where it's not in your face, but it's
subtle.
No, there's a different word for it.
Subtle.
Subtile.
So there were a couple things too when I listened.
Covert racism. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. So one thing when we were talking, Mom's laughing at us.
Mom looks so bored right now.
She looks so cute.
She looks so beautiful, Mom. So beautiful. You really do.
Such a brown noser.
I can't help it.
So one thing that I wanted to say is when you and I were talking, you were saying Happy Nurses Week, and I said something about myself, and you said, well, you're a nurse practitioner. And I said, yes, nurse practitioner. And then you said something along the lines of, well, you used to be a nurse. So I wanted to emphasize that I am a nurse. I'm always a nurse. And this isn't against you. It was against myself because I didn't correct you. Like a nurse practitioner doesn't mean you're no longer a nurse or anything like that. So,
well, it means you're a nurse practitioner though. So you have actually more rules and like responsibilities and clinical
more liability, but there's, registered nurse practitioner, LPNs.
We have LVNs in Texas.
LVNs, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see, one other thing, because you decided to start naming family members that are in the nursing field, you forgot Josie, Chris.
Oh my gosh, I am so sorry, Josie. You're right. You're absolutely right.
And one more thing.
Barb.
Yes. So one more thing, and the rest of the stuff can wait until the end. But I just wanted to tell everybody, in case anyone was really, listening to our podcast and critiquing everything, to apologize for me sounding like I was in a tin can for the last month.
No, I think it was like 2 months.
No, I don't think it was 2 months. So here's the situation. So we went to Cabo. I brought my mic. We came back home. I think I hooked it up correctly. But then my first laptop was having issues connecting to the internet. So I always sounded like a robot. So I decided to purchase a new laptop. And when I put my microphone into that laptop, it was purely static. So I wasn't sure if it was the laptop. I was pretty sure it was the laptop or the microphone. So I purchased a new microphone and a new laptop, swapped things around. I finally have the right laptop, but I still could not figure out why I sounded like I was in a tin can until after we recorded our last episode. When
it took her avionics technician sister. Thank you very much.
To say, you have the logo of the microphone facing you, right? And I did. I was
the look on her face was like deer in headlights.
Yeah. And my response was, what logo? Found it, turned it around, and here's the difference. So takeaway is read the directions when you put things together.
Or ask your smarter sister. Oh!
It's not fair.
I got a mom laugh.
Okay. So anyway, enough about that junk. So the term Asian American was introduced in the 1960s to the United States, and Pacific Islander was in the 1980s. In 1977, it's a wonderful, amazing year, was the first time Asian American Heritage Month was introduced to government to implement.
Really?
And it was not signed in until October. I have October, but I also saw March or May. Anyway, 1978 by President Carter signed
Good old Jimmy.
Asian American Heritage Week. And then that went from 1978 until 1990 when President G.W. Bush decided to make it a month. And then in 1992, it was officially signed into by Congress to become 1 month of a observance. And the reason May was chosen is because it commemorates the date of the first Japanese immigrants to the United States, which was May 7th, 1843, as well as completion of the first transcontinental railroad, which was mostly laid by Chinese immigrants, and that was May 10th, 1869.
So, hi, Mom.
Hello, girls.
This is the 0.1 Pinoy.
1 point. Not 0.1. That's 0.5.
The 1.0.
And people say Asians are good at math.
It is. It still does.
I'm only half.
So actually, let's dispel this myth. Are Asian women bad drivers? Ingrid, is there a story from our childhood that you would like to weigh in on?
Oh, which one?
My favorite is for those of you in Toma who know the roads of coming out of Quick Trip. It's a 2-lane highway. It's a 4-lane highway coming out of Quick Trip, and to turn right is to head back to the south side of Toma, or is it the north side? I don't know. The other side of Toma than where the Quick Trip is, on like where Burnstead's is, like that side of town. And so you have 2 options to come out of that Quick Trip. You turn right and you head to the other side of town, or you come out the other exit and then go on Highway 12, 16. I can't remember the roads. I do remember, Mom, since I saw you laughing at this, you must remember it too. Angie, I'm pretty sure you were with. Mom turned left into a 4-lane highway going down the wrong way.
She did that so many times, Jessica. I can't differentiate just this one instance.
I just remember the one because I think you were in the van, Mom, like the big old kind of 80s van going down the wrong way. I don't know how long it took you to realize you were going the wrong way. I think it was fairly soon.
But do you remember when we were leaving the Grand Bohemian after brunch one time in Orlando?
You went the wrong way? Yes.
I went the wrong way. I followed in Mom's footsteps. Drive steps.
Oh,
Car
good
steps.
Lord. So what's another myth? Are Asians typically late?
No.
Filipinos are.
Ingrid is.
Except for a party. You can be socially late, but for any kind of appointments, we're actually early.
I read somewhere that Filipinos actually find it socially rude to show up on time to a party.
It is.
Yeah, you have to be a little late, but not too late.
I agree with that. Like 20 minutes late, maybe even 30.
If any of you are ever invited to my house, please don't ever show up early because I'm not going to be ready.
Or on time. Please do not
my own house. Oh, yeah. Or on, yeah. I might not even be there yet.
So, Mom, okay, I will give a little bit. So, our mom emigrated here in 1976.
Five.
1975.
Oh, we should have done a quiz. Who knows Mom better?
Ooh, the quiz could still happen because we've only been talking for like a minute.
20.
Well, actually, I want to hear this from Mom. Mom, where were you born?
Oh, I was born in the province. It's the town of Benmaloy, and the province is Pangasinan. For all those people that doesn't know Philippines, it's in the big island of Luzon,
which also has Manila.
Yes.
Well, do you want to go over all the islands, like the main islands of the Philippines?
Well, there's like about 1,700
No, that's
islands.
why I
I'm
said
gonna
the
name them
main.
all. So there's three main island of the Philippines. The biggest one is Luzon, that has Manila and Quezon City. Those are the big cities. And then you have the Visayas and the Mindanao.
Isn't
Philippine
besides,
Islands.
isn't that where like a lot of the resorts are?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that
We
right.
have beautiful resorts
Oh,
wherever you
gorgeous.
go, whichever you go of the three islands. Yeah.
That was were you born in a hospital or at home?
I was born at home by technically they call it hilot, who is like has an experience how to deliver babies,
Is that the equivalent of like a midwife?
equivalent of a midwife.
Okay. Okay. So, growing up, what was growing up like? Where did you live?
Well, my dad decided to move out of Binmalay and move to another town because he has to open like about rice mills. That was his job.
Hmm.
So it's in the province, so life is so simple. We didn't have any electricity at first, and we just depend on the rice mill. Whenever the rice mill is milling, we have electricity. So you have to do all your ironing, you have to do all the things that you need. But at nighttime, then it's just we have a big equivalent of a fluorescent, but it's from kerosene, and we use lamps.
Did you share a room with Tita or did you have your own room?
I share a room with your tita, my sister. That's and our help, our maid. We're not rich, but it's very common in the Philippines to have somebody helping out.
I need to ask something if it's a myth or if this is real. Is there a thing called the Filipino toe?
It's not a myth. I
So
don't know
please
whether it's people are still doing it, but when we're growing up, when you drop something and you can pick it up with your toes, why bend over? We're very limber.
But yet, you used to yell at me for pointing with my toes. Jessica June, do not point with your toes.
Well, don't do what I do. Do what I say.
Oh, I did. I was an obedient daughter for the
Well, the reason I ask
first
is
half.
because my daughter just picked something up with her toes the other day. And
So, all right. So you grew up in, because I remember going to visit the Philippines as a child and we stayed in the rice mill, like, or the building next to the rice mill, right?
Mhm. House, yeah. Next house. We have houses there, Jessica.
Jessica
Okay.
stayed in the rice mill.
I was 8, so I was super confused because I remember like it was my first experience, obviously, as an 8-year-old from America to a different country. And I remember like the shower was different and the toilet, you had to pour water down to flush it. So there was just a lot of different things. I truly thought it was part of the rice mill until about 2 seconds ago. So thanks.
Mm.
I
Do
thought
you
it was
remember
cool.
the shower? The shower was so strange.
Yeah, it was like a sprinkler head.
Yeah, no, but remember our cousins asked to take a shower with us and we were so freaked out because why would we take showers with our cousins?
And we wore bathing suits.
No, well, because you and I were getting undressed like we were going to take a shower and they were fully clothed.
No, I
And they
don't
were-
remember this.
Well, I was older and they were laughing at us. And when they came out, they started telling everybody that we were taking off our clothes.
Huh. Is that a weird thing to do, Mom?
Oh yeah, the Filipinos are at that time when I was growing up. You're so modest. Unless you're by yourself, you don't strip. I mean, going to the beach, if you have bathing suit, you put short over your bathing suit and a t-shirt. Then you
So
go to the beach.
so our children who love to be Boomba should not love to be Boomba.
Boomba Beans naked.
Huh. Good to know. Okay, Mom. So what was going to school like? Was it similar to how it is here, or was it completely different?
No, it wasn't because we have, I don't know, in our old days, the first thing that we have to do, like before 8 o'clock, then we have a bell and then we sing our Philippine national anthem and
Can you
then we
sing it?
say the Pledge of Allegiance, and that's the American Pledge of Allegiance. That's
Really?
every morning. And during that flag ceremony, any car passing to the store, any car will stop, any kind of transportation will stop. And if you didn't make it out to the bell, you stop wherever you're at until the national anthem and the Pledge of Allegiance is done.
That's what our military does. Like on a military base, you're supposed to stop wherever you are, pull the car over or stop in your tracks.
And that went through high school, not just grade school.
So you had to do the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yeah, the U.S. Pledge of Allegiance.
Do you remember the Filipino one?
We don't have Filipino one. It's
Well,
always
the
English.
national anthem.
National anthem.
National anthem.
Do you remember
yeah.
it?
It's Pambansang Awit. I can't remember
you
the
sing it?
wordings. Yeah. I'm not a good singer, so I'm not
It doesn't
gonna
matter.
sing.
Neither are we, and we sing all the time.
Don't make me
It says
sing.
bayang magiliw. Perlas ng silanganan. That's all.
Oh, that was so good.
Beautiful, Mom. That was beautiful.
So that's our national anthem, and that's
just-
Tagalog.
that's
and
it?
then I pledge to the flag. I think instead of to the U.S., I pledge to the flag of the Philippines, but the same wording except for the country.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better.
I mean, growing up, there's 7 of us, so I'm the first girl. Grew up with 5 brothers and 1 sister. And we're very happy. We don't have a lot. We're not rich by any means, and we're not poor by any means. We're just in the medium. We don't have any electronics like what you have right now, but
Nobody did.
we entertain ourselves with some games. And for snacks, we usually go into the backyard, and whatever is growing, that's what we eat. So we have papayas, guavas, all fruits.
Did you have domesticated dogs as pets?
Yes, we do. And as everybody knows, every Filipinos at that time loved President Kennedy. So a lot of the kids' name and a lot of the dogs' names are Kennedys.
So what did Lola do? Was she did she manage the house?
She managed the house, but she helped my dad with the business. We are in the rice business, so we buy and sell. We deliver to the restaurants. We mill the rice. People bring their product to us, and we do that. We also have pigs and chickens.
So you didn't harvest it?
No, the
You just
harvest
put,
is done by hand.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was asking.
No.
Was that a competitive thing?
About what?
Your family. Was there a lot of rice mills, or were you predominantly it?
Predominantly, we're it. So that's why my dad moves. We have a rice mill in Binmalay, and that was owned by his 2 aunts and him. It's a combination, but the one in Bukacleo and the one in Mangatarem and Alaminos were primarily by my dad.
By the way, a few words. Lola means grandma.
Tita means aunt.
And we never said at the beginning what we said.
Ate means sister.
But at the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, you can find it, and up to now, there's no Filipinos that call older relatives or older people than them by their first name.
Mm-hmm.
You have to add kuya, that means big brother or sister, or lola, lolo, regardless of whether you're related to them or not. It's kind of impolite or rude or disrespectful to call people by their first name, especially if they're older.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't call your in-laws their first name. That's a disrespectful.
Yes, sure.
Okay, so at the beginning, remember you said magandang umaga.
Yes.
What? So say what you said.
Oh, I said mabuhay Philippines. That means long live the Philippines. Magandang umaga, which is in right now night in the U.S., but morning in the Philippines. That's good morning. And welcome is welcome.
And what did you say, Jessica?
I said a bunch of phrases. I said, maganda ka, you are beautiful. Kumusta ka, how are you? Mebute is I'm fine. Mahal kita is I love you. And Sino ka.
Come over by yourself, or did you come with friends?
There's two of us. Actually, there's three of us that I didn't go with them. They're not my friends, but I met them in the agency.
So this was
The
part of the
nursing program.
nursing program.
This is like a nursing. I think what it is when I was growing up, and that was like unfortunately during the Vietnam War, because of the proximity of Vietnam and the Philippines, and because of the military bases, you can hear a lot of airplanes flying around. And my dad kept saying that we hope they're here to do the R&R, which is, what is it, Jessica? Your name?
Rest and relax.
Rest and relaxation instead of bringing casualties.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like wonder what's beyond the clouds and say, maybe God is in there. Maybe heaven is in there. And that's the only thing that puzzles me. I says, what's beyond those clouds? I want to see it. And that was one of my dream and question that was answered when I was on the plane for the very first time in my life.
Curious.
I didn't find out it's another cloud.
I was just about to ask, what was there?
And it's never ending.
So what was it like when you actually came to the U.S.?
It was cold. I arrived from, it was a long trip because from the Philippines, and then we stay overnight in Hong Kong.
Mm.
And then from Hong Kong, then we went to Guam.
Yay, I've been
From
there.
Guam to Hawaii. And we have layover for like about 3 hours each.
Mm.
And then from Hawaii, then in LA.
Oh my gosh.
And the first thing that I want is, because we have 6 hours layover, I want to go to Disney. And when America says, how far is the Disney in here? I says, well, are you staying overnight? And he said, no, I have 6 hours. And he said, girl, you're not going to make it. So we stayed there. And from LA, then we flew to Atlanta. And from Atlanta to Athens. And that's
did you drive? You drove to Athens?
No, we ride the little airplane.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it was like I don't know, it's a very small airplane from Atlanta to Athens.
That is
I mean, if
so
you
many
drive,
trips.
it's like about 1 hour and a half. You fly like, what, 20 minutes, 15 minutes?
Oh, okay.
And then we were met by the head of security of the hospital.
So it was so the program was to what? To have you work in the U.S.?
Yeah, because when I was in the Philippines as a nurse, everybody was applying to the US. And, I says, oh, okay. But then when my aunt went to Manila, I says, what are you going? I says, oh, your cousin wants to go to Canada because my oldest daughter, who's also a nurse, is in Canada. I says, oh, can I come with you? Maybe I can go to Canada too. So I did. I asked my dad, because even though you're 21, well, I was 20 at that time, you have to ask permission from your parents. So I did. And I went there. And the agency said, hey, you have good grades. Why don't you go to US? I says, no, I want to go to Canada. I says, no, just go to
grades
US.
couldn't go to Canada.
you go to the US. I will refer you to another agency.
Oh, Canada.
So
We love
I
you,
did.
Canada.
And I was accepted, and bring all your requirements. And then I was about to leave, like after I applied. We don't have any telephone except for the hospital. So they use the telegram. I says, are you ready to go? And apply like in March or May. And in September, I says, there's a flight going to Texas. I says, I don't have the passport yet. I says, go and get your passport. So I did, and eventually I did make the Texas one. And they said there is another one in December. And I says, oh, can I just move it to, I'd like to spend one Christmas in here in New Year's. So can I fly in January? I says, you're lucky because they just postponed that. And I said, what is in Atlanta? I says, well, you got two choices. Either you go to Emory or you go to Athens. I says, what's in Athens? Oh, you love there.
Music.
There's a lot of Filipinos there. There's a Navy school there. There's a lot of Philippines. Oh, that's where I'm gonna go.
What did they
The
tell?
sailors?
No,
Wait.
because of the Filipinos. Because of
Can
the
I?
Filipinos in there.
And if you don't want to share this, I'll totally cut it out. But can you say what you heard about Texas?
Yeah, I heard about Texas. He says, "Oh, they got a lot of guns there. They shoot you." I said, "Oh, I'm not gonna go to Texas." It was a myth.
No, it's not. No, it's not. They do.
They're like cowboys, like
It's
you watch
still
the cowboys
true.
in movies. Yeah,
It is still
they
true.
shoot before asking questions.
Still true.
Yeah. And at that
Well,
time, my mom doesn't want me to go.
oh,
My dad said because it was a martial law and he was got
Marcos. I was going to
Marcos.
say
He
who is the
got
president.
he got
Mhm.
in trouble with because he voices his opinion and then he was muted. He said, "I think you better go. You probably have a better life there. I don't want you to go, but." And then he told me all his relatives that lives all over the U.S. I says, try to find them. I says, my goodness, California, Virginia. I mean, I don't even know the places. So that's why, and my mother conceded. So I was so excited. And I think when you're 21 years old, the excitement
Hmm.
overcomes your fear.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So was
And
it when you left there, was your plan to stay here or just to visit?
2 years. That's what I told my
Oh,
parents. 2
really?
years. Yeah. Just to see what's life here.
So what happened after 2 years?
Uh, love happens.
Me.
I fell in love with a sailor.
Don't worry, Mom. I've also fallen in love with Sailor. Apple doesn't fall too far. Hmm. And
we
then you
did
had
stay.
When did you meet Dad? How soon did you meet him?
I think like about 6 months after. See, I work night shift, and Filipinos are, they like to have parties. I mean, any kind of, like if you sneeze and says, "Hey, let's have a party," you sneeze for the first time.
Let's make a lot of food that no one's going to eat.
There's always a lot of food, and since we love Filipino foods and they have a good cook, so we like to go. But most of the time, I can't attend because I work night shift. So I think it was in our house. We live in a big house that used to be part of the hospital. It was owned by the administrator, and she gave it to us. And there's like 5 of us in there.
Was it like 5 like apartments or more like barracks?
No, it's like a house that is like about 5 bedrooms.
Oh, okay.
Huge.
So it's a 5-bedroom.
Yeah, and it's walking distance to the hospital.
Mom, I don't blame you. Dad was a good-looking guy back in the day.
Yeah, he was.
You're still handsome, Dad.
In your own way.
In your own long-haired hippie way.
So back in the day, so what conflicts did you live through in the Philippines, like when you were growing up? Speaking of Marcos,
What conflict? What
Conflict.
like yeah, like
well, like what I said, the Vietnam War and then the martial law.
Can you? Why was there martial law in the Philippines?
In a way, there's a lot of crimes and everything, and demonstrations, especially by students.
Wanting more
and there's a lot
freedoms,
of
or
crimes going on. So we thought the martial law is a temporary one.
Mhm.
And we didn't get scared because, just to curb down the crime. But I don't know whether it's President Marcos that is saying, but a lot of his cronies took it overboard.
Mhm.
I remember I was a senior student at nursing, and we live in the dorm, and they did not let us out. But the only thing is, anybody walking on the street, the police will just, they don't like the way your hair looks, they cut it. If you're wearing a clothes that they don't like it, they cut it.
On the street? Like, well,
On the street.
oh my
And
goodness.
there's a lot of, it was abused by some of the people in power.
Didn't I remember you saying like you would get off, you'd be working at the hospital and you'd get off late, like after curfew? Didn't
Yeah,
somebody?
we have a curfew for a long time, 12 midnight till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Mm.
So one time I already graduated from nursing at that time. I think it was 1973, maybe. We were working in a hospital and it was a lot of gunshot wounds and a lot of stuff. So for a whole 16 hours, we didn't eat.
Oh my goodness.
So there was a gas station, or there was a bakery that closes at 12 or 11:50. So, and it's like maybe about, if you run, it's probably like about 5 minutes from the hospital.
Did you run?
We did because you're hungry. So there's three nurses and one doctor that we're just like buzzed up before they closes. And then I said, "Oh, we have 4 minutes left, so we have to run back." We were just like maybe a few yards away from the hospital, and the squad car
Mm.
stopped us and took us to the police station.
A bunch of medical professionals.
And
That's
they said that,
crazy.
and the doctor, the ER is so worried about that there's nobody at the hospital. And I says, please let us go. I mean, we're sorry, but we were so hungry. I mean, we just have to, because the next meal will be in the morning, and there's no
Mhm.
way you can get any other food except for like bread. That's what we bought. And we were running and eating at the
Oh my
same
gosh,
time.
for bread.
Yeah. So he says, oh, no, 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 no. So they have to wake up the director of the hospital, who happened to be related to me. I was so nervous. And he says,
Bautista.
yes, those are my staff. And they release us. And we said, after they drop us off, when we were at the hospital, I says, I hope none of your relatives didn't have any emergency situation for keeping us.
Oh, snobby
And
Filipino.
then we just went inside.
The,
We
the
locked the door.
snotty Filipino was born then.
and sniffed.
So that was the experience of the martial law. But we were, and when I was applying for the states, we have to go into some kind of a conference. So I work until from 10 o'clock until 4 o'clock in the morning. Somebody
Mm.
covers me because I was working in ICU, and then take the bus, do my paperwork, and then come back at like 8 o'clock
Hmm.
to the bus, and then I go again. I sleep in the bus. At that time, there was no crime, and it was quiet. So that was my
The
life.
bus. Okay.
Yeah, it's the bus.
I am okay. So I have a question for you. So the story we covered last week talked about how those Filipino nurses were treated. Do you? And if you don't want to talk about it, it's totally fine. Do you want to talk about how you were treated
Oh,
early in the early years?
in the early, when I was in Georgia, I'm not gonna say the name. When I was in Georgia, we were happy,
Mhm.
and it's rude to us how much everybody's making. That's always, I mean, even now, we're just talking, and I was the charge nurse at that time, and I found out a new grad that just came under my wing is making more than I am.
Hmm.
And my friend, who is a nurse manager, a head nurse in a pediatric section, were making the same. Another Filipina that came from LA, who is not embarrassed to us how much we make, because she might think that we're making more than she did. And we said, oh my gosh. So I talked to my head nurse, who happened to be an ex-military woman who's not from the South. And she goes, oh. And then she went to the HR, and their excuse was, oh my goodness, it was an honest mistake. We did not
Okay.
include them. So, needless to say, they give us the $1 an hour. And the head nurse asked me, do I need to pursue if they're going to pay you back? I says, if you can, you would, but don't push the issue. I'm happy with what we have right now, because
Mm.
as a foreign worker and everything, you don't ask question, you don't say anything against the administration because you fear of retaliation.
Even when they're treating you like crap. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes.
Ugh.
Yes, that's true.
So we actually talked about this while we were watching that documentary because when they interviewed, I don't know who the guy was. In the background, he had like a magazine of himself. But anyway, he was saying Filipinos, when they come to the United States, they're here. They're the first ones from the family, and their goal is to petition for the rest of the family to come over or to make money to send over back to the Philippines. So it would be very strange for two first generation immigrants to come over and to start murdering people because their goal would be to petition to bring their family over or to send money
To keep
back home.
sustainable
Mhm.
employment. Right.
Right.
Not only that, but Filipino has pride that make proud of what you are.
Right. Be the
don't
best
make
at what you
yeah.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
You instilled it in your daughters, Mom.
yeah,
Mhm.
one slam of the Filipinos, that means you inflict others too. So you have to be good. And even my dad told me not to ruffle any feathers because you're in a foreign land.
Well, Mother, I must say that you took that message and you twisted it for me and Ingrid to ruffle feathers if we feel we're being mistreated.
Well, I did that late in my life because you
Well,
can always take it so much.
we are also not in a foreign land.
This is true. This is true. But I do love that you took what you learned, you endured what you did, and then you're like, no, my girls are not going to go through this.
Yes.
And we have passed that on to our girls. So sorry, world, for
God.
the 4-year-olds and the 5-year-olds that are out.
Tornadoes. Back when, do you remember when we were talking about like the Asian, they were talking about like Asian people getting attacked because all the stuff that was happening in Georgia, that
Mhm.
dude that went on a rampage and killed.
I was going to bring that up at the end.
Oh, okay. Well, this is why I'm asking because Mom and I got into a conversation about how people have viewed her as an Asian because people don't view me as an Asian because I don't look like it, and about some of the ways she was mistreated. Do you want to?
So just kind of discriminatory things that have
Yeah.
happened?
Do you want to? You don't have
Well,
to.
yeah, I mean,
but-
everyone has, and I believe that everybody has some kind of a prejudice against one another. So, yes, I did experience that. Did I take it? I said, I thought about it, but, it's just like, it's life. So, I mean, there's a lot of things. For some reason, I thought the World War II veterans will hate me because I look like a Japanese. But on the contrary, they always sing my Filipino baby every time they see me, and they love me and they like to converse with me. In
Like
fact,
Grandpa
my
Dutton.
father-in-law was
Mhm.
World War II, and he
Pearl
loves
Harbor.
me.
Pearl Harbor.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you remember? I was a nurse resident at is that what it was called? Valor student
Valor students, like an intern.
They still have
Yes.
that program.
at the
Oh.
VA. And I went to start an IV on this poor man. He was so confused. And he was a former, I think, Navy chaplain. And he said so many bad words. And he was screaming at me, calling me a Jap and all these curse words that you would think a chaplain would not be saying. But again, he was confused.
Mhm.
But anyway, that's my.
Well, I remember you saying, Mom, that you used to be called names, and that
Oh yeah,
some of the people used to treat.
there's a lot of
very
names.
poorly.
At first, the Vietnam vets, they're kind of like, like I know they were treated a bad way when they returned,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes they would say, like they call you chink, they call you something names, and a lot of the people that around me and my coworkers and everything insisted that why didn't you tell them that you're not a Vietnamese? I says that doesn't make any sense unless they ask. I'm not going to explain. I
Right.
just tell them, that I'm going to be your nurse. if you don't want me, it's fine with me. I can accept that. I can, I never say that I understand what they went through, because I
Mhm.
wouldn't. And that's the worst thing that you can tell that to a vet, that you
Mhm.
understand. I mean, I never said that. I mean, I would say it was very rough on you. So, and
That
then they
sounds
finally
horrible.
come to their
Yeah.
senses, and they find out that, I don't do that. I just tell them professionally that this is the rule. I mean, I know smoking is not allowed in here, but you're really upset about it, but you have to go with someone though.
Did you ever have any discrimination, Jessica?
I have had actually positive discrimination against me. When I was in the Navy, I went TAD on a aircraft carrier, and I was a little E3, and I was assigned to the chief's mess. And so what I had to do was like pick up plates, clean the tables, make sure all the chiefs were happy. And so I saw a Filipino one there, and there's a thing in the Navy, and actually maybe in civilian life, we call it the Filipino Mafia, and it's actually really big in the Navy. And so, of course, I wanted to get in with Filipino Mafia, and I don't look Filipino, so I had to use whatever Filipino tactics I had, which was saying like "Kumusta ka?" So I went up to this. I was talking to this Filipino chief, and I let him know. I was like, "Yeah," I was like, "My mom's from Pangasinan," and then he's like, "Oh, what?" And he's like, "You're not picking up another tray here." So he's like, "No," he's like, "You sit down over there. They all can take care of themselves." He must have been like a senior chief or a master chief, because there's a chief in the chief's mess, like he must have been either a master or a senior anyways. So that little detachment on, I can't even remember what carrier it was on, was fabulous. I got to take naps in a bed. And like
Oh my
I
gosh.
was spoiled. I did not have to work on that because of the Filipino Mafia.
Hey,
With
so
I don't know.
as a kid, the only thing I remember is, you know the story well, is on the school bus when there was that dumb little saying when people would like move their eyes. It was awful. It was Chinese, Japanese,
Americanese, look at these.
Americanese, look at these or something.
Yeah.
So when somebody was doing it next to me and said Chinese, Japanese, Americanese, what the hell are you? And I was so upset because I was
How old
like,
were you?
oh my gosh.
Ooh.
I think it was before you started riding the bus. So I was pretty young. I would say third grade at the oldest.
Mm. What do you miss the most about living in the Philippines?
Oh, relatives, I guess, relatives and the food. And it's the simple life, where, in here you can go to somebody's house without making an appointment or calling them. You just drop by,
Mm.
and people drop by, the continuous, I wouldn't call it gossips, but, like,
It's gossip.
yeah, and laughing all the time. For some reason, Filipino loves to eat, laugh, and dance, which
Hmm.
I can do it, and sing. Oh my
And
goodness,
karaoke. I was just going to say, and karaoke, Mom.
karaoke! Holy moly, yeah.
Okay, so I told mom that we were going to kind of incorporate a little bit of all the months. So she already told her nursing story, but mom, May has Paranormal Day in it. Do you have any paranormal stories?
Ooh.
Oh, oh yeah. Filipinos get a lot of paranormal
Can
She
I
has not had any wine, by the by.
can I interject something right now? Which is what it's no, it's a conflict. It's like oxymoron, but that's not the word I'm looking for. And it's conflict, not the word I'm looking for. So you are Catholic, correct?
Yes.
But you also have an air of paranormal belief and almost not necessarily reincarnation, but like almost a. I have a
I
recording
think
of.
it's
Okay, wait. Let
Catholic.
me. I have a
Catholic?
no. I have a recording
Catholic?
of Mom saying something to get the bad spirits out of my house, and I wave the bad spirits out an open door. So every time that my kids can't sleep well or I feel a bad spirit in my house, I play mom's recording that I have and I sweep the bad spirits out my house.
Jessica, Catholics
Yes.
are the ones who do exorcisms.
True story, but this does not seem like a no, but the Catholic Church do they condone exorcisms though? Like I don't
They're
know
the
if they,
ones who do it. You
I understand, but I don't
you
think
have to be approved and they perform them.
yes, but it's
I have the experience growing up in the Philippines with whatever that word is.
exorcisms. You never had an
Yeah.
exorcism when you were a kid.
Yeah. I mean, my mother was very religious. I mean, when we're growing up, every 6 o'clock, when the bell rings from the church, we have to face the church, run to the house in front of the altar, and we start the Angelus time, which is like
Huh.
praying. And Jessica, we pray in Latin.
Oh.
Latin and our dialect Pangasinan and English.
So you know 4 languages then.
Well, the Latin is just prayer, and now the only thing I know is Ora pro nobis, which is pray for us.
But you used to know prayers in Latin, which is pretty
Yeah,
that's pretty
that's the
impressive.
only thing I know in
Huh.
the church, because at 6 o'clock in the morning on Sunday in our town, the priest that's the Latin
Hmm.
mass. The second one is the English. And then the third mass is in our dialects.
Oh, okay.
So the Angelus time, my mom used to lead the prayer, but then each of us will rotate, and that's an hour of praying the
Dang.
litany or the rosary.
Is that the angels' time? Is that what 6?
Yeah, 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock at night.
Really? I
Yeah,
didn't
we
know
have to
that.
pray. So sometimes, I mean, when I was young, I can memorize everything, the Holy Rosary. Not in Latin though. I have to read it.
But you can read in Latin and know what it says.
You can read it. Sometimes I probably pronounce it wrong, not unlike the priest.
Hmm.
So we have to pay attention. That's one of the reasons why I didn't go to Catholic high school, because I think, I says, oh my gosh, gonna let us pray in Latin again. So I went to public school.
Well,
My brothers did, but not me.
that was the only reason why.
Well, and then the nuns were mean. They pinch us.
Oh.
Yeah, in church when you're loud.
Anyways, okay, so paranormal story.
I think the first one that I experienced was way back when I was, I would say maybe about 5 years old.
Ooh,
5 or 6, yeah.
I don't think I know
And,
this.
like I think it was Saturday night, so the rice mill is not running. So we have just a lamp in the house because everybody was already playing outside. And it was my turn to wash the dishes. So I was washing the dishes and somebody left the lamp. I says, hey, 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 I'm not done. Don't take it. Don't take it. And then I look and I was the only one in the house. Everybody was outside. And I says, oh my God, it could have been grandpa, my grandfather.
Aw.
And I didn't really pay
Bautista
attention.
or Bengzel?
Bautista.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was my first one. But I don't have a lot of the paranormal, but my sister, she can, I think somebody said that she can see or she can feel, but that's the only thing I have experience with, except in our house in Wisconsin that's haunted.
Yeah, I have actually when we talk about the paranormal, I have quite a few stories because
Yeah.
the stereo, do you remember that stereo?
I was waiting you for it, and you were not even home.
It wasn't even programmed. Like it would do it before, like when you'd be working your PM shifts and you wouldn't even be home yet. And it was not set an alarm. And then all of a sudden it would just go off. And I'm like, what? Like, what is that noise? It was creepy.
I mean, to me, the lights was when all the lights was, and you know me, how I turn off the lights all the time when I
Or
come
being in
home.
the basement and hearing someone walk
Yeah.
upstairs. Oh,
Yeah.
And there was a time, I'm actually going to tell the story for a paranormal one, so I won't tell it now, but there was a time that a lot of stuff happened at the house. And I remember you saying, you're like, it's like a spirit came in through the front door and left out the back window. And I was
Mhm.
like, because of all the stuff that happened, I was like, oh my goodness, that's exactly what happened. And you're like, I need to call the Philippines because you thought something might have happened with a relative. And I was like, you know what? You might be right. And so now, like, I am a firm believer in things like that happening and it meaning something.
And yeah, especially when my sister died, the time that she died, I feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And that happened like about 2 years ago when she died in Kuwait.
She was
And
no, say she was a nurse when COVID first happened,
yeah,
and she
she
died
was
from
a
COVID.
COVID
Yes.
casualty.
And she
Mhm.
was staying where?
She was staying in Kuwait. She was
She said,
staying in their hostel. And I know that they took her to the hospital and they intubated her and everything. And I think it's like close to midnight when I feel, like Wisconsin, during winter, because it was still May. So, I mean, it was May 2nd. So it's still cold in Wisconsin. So you never open the window. There's no heater, there's no air conditioning, but just close. And I
mhm.
feel the wind that just went through me in the living room. And that's when I know I said, "You're here to say goodbye, aren't you?" And then the phone rings.
Mm.
Daughter's called, Mama is gone. Yeah, that's what, and it's really, I says, oh, she said goodbye, which it still hurt until now.
I remember the day after Tita died, me and my kids were playing outside, and my daughter shares the same birthday as Tita. And there was purple butterflies, which we lived in Washington State at the moment. So purple butterflies are, I'd never seen one. Like I've seen white and I'd seen yellow, but I'd never seen purple. And there was just this purple butterfly floating around it's gonna make me cry a little bit.
Yeah.
And there was a purple butterfly, and I thought it was Tita coming to check and say, "Hey, I'm still here. I see y'all. Love you guys." So
Yeah. Remember that yellow butterfly in the middle of the ocean, Jessica, in our
on the
boat?
way to 100 Islands,
Yeah,
yes,
on the boat. This is what is the butterfly doing in the middle of the Pacific Ocean?
I do remember. Actually, I think it was that experience that made me think the
Yeah,
purple
and
butterfly
there's
was
only
Tita.
3 of us that saw it. I mean, there's like about 15 people in the boat,
There was
just the 3 of us, and then it was gone. It's just
you
the
and
look in the
Mana,
eye.
right?
Yeah, my brother's daughter and you and I, and no word, just we look at each other, and I said, "Thank you for checking on us."
Yeah. We're happy. We're all together.
Yeah,
We're okay.
but otherwise, that's a happy. No, it's scary. Besides the haunted in our house, that's the only thing. But
Do you know? Actually, I'm gonna share this now because I have a different story to share with it paranormal. But I used to think that there was a little troll outside my door that would hang out in our hallway. I did, and like I would see him run past my door because my door would have to stay open a little bit because I didn't want it to be shut because I was scared of the dark. I think that to Uncle Joe, who reportedly shut me in the dark when I was a baby and he was babysitting me because I wouldn't stop crying. He's like, "Yeah, I just threw you in there and I shut the door and I left you alone in the darkness." And I was like, "Oh, is that why I'm scared of the dark?" Like,
Uncle Joe did that?
oh my gosh, yes, he feels so bad for it still. Like he apologizes almost every time I see him. It's
only joke.
hilarious.
We're gonna have to tell Taylor.
And
Don't
I
have him
totally
listen to this.
I do guilt trip him for that too. So
Oh my gosh.
it's not very fair. But yeah, so I would see a little troll, like it was a creepy ass little or creepy butt little troll.
Jessica, it was probably from a combination of watching the movie The Leprechaun
I think it's from Cat's Cradle or Cat's Eye by Stephen King. Like the
or
thing that would
that.
come and suck your breath while you sleep. Because
Oh,
I used to have to
yeah.
sleep with a
You
pillow
weren't
over
afraid of
my
that.
face as well.
And it was probably a combination of those scary things and your big sister who was always trying to scare you.
Yeah, well, you weren't a troll. But so Mom, what else do you want to include? Like so now that you're a US citizen, what do you think of the U.S.?
I think the US is a great place to live. I wouldn't
Still?
say anything. Yeah, the US still a great place to live. I mean, compared to the Philippines, I mean, I love the Philippines, but I think I would still prefer to live here
Hmm.
and just visit the Philippines.
Is it because of your grandkids, maybe?
Because of the grandkids, because I bought a land there to build a house, but then grandkids came along, and I look at my surrounding during that time, and it's kind of like I live in fear in there, especially at that time that there was a killing close to home where my brothers stay, and nobody, most of my brothers are overseas,
Mm.
and we have to get like bodyguards or something to watch the house from 1 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I think that
Jeez.
was the last straw. That was when my brother died. When I
Romeo
was there,
or
yes, I was, because
William? Romeo.
one of the guy that was killed there, it was in Bukakli that he was killed, and he had association with Ronnie. So
Mm.
we shipped Ronnie to Manila and hide.
Mm. I remember this.
Yeah, and we're afraid that, I don't know, thinking that the Filipinos thinks that anybody from America is so filthy rich, which I'm not. So I don't like that belief. Plus, my brother just died, and there's a lot of money that was donated to him.
Ah.
So we have the cash sitting at home. I mean, it's in the different house, but in the same compound.
Mm-hmm.
And with me in there, they're more afraid of me because they think, like that we have money, that because I paid for the funeral and everything, and my sister-in-law with her big mouth, because the people asked her how could she afford to pay for all this
Oh
thing,
no.
and she says she's married to a doctor. I says, oh my gosh, we're not rich, we're not, he's not a doctor that earns thousands and thousands of dollars. It's not that kind. So anyway,
He's a VA doctor.
so with all of that things, I was afraid. So they hire somebody from, like a capitan and his bodyguards to get in there. His
Mm.
Odette's brother-in-law.
Didn't you, when we went to visit there and me and Ingrid were like
Oh,
6 and 8 or whatever, didn't you hire
yeah.
a bodyguard to go
11,
in?
Yes,
11 and
I
8.
did. I did hire a bodyguard with a M16.
And
He's in
I
he's in some of the pictures.
Yeah,
what? I've never noticed him.
and I said, anybody that touched my kids, you know what to do. And they understood.
Shoot to kill. I just snorted.
I remember in the ride from Manila to Pangasinan in the jeepney.
I remember that.
It was super late and somebody was shooting off fireworks. I don't remember what it was. The New Year, maybe?
Probably.
It was in
because
January.
It was
No, we went there in
no,
February.
December, because
Was it December?
Tita got married in December. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So December. And I remember somebody started shooting off fireworks, and Mom, you and I were in different rows, but Mom grabbed both of us. Okay, she was like Spider-Man webs stuck to the two of us, threw us on the ground and jumped on top of us because she
Oh, I
thought
don't
somebody was
remember that
shooting.
at all.
I totally 100% remember this.
Hmm.
Do you remember it, Mom?
I probably do. So my brother already arranged for a bodyguard before, because I told him we're coming. We're
Mhm.
with the kids. And they said, what about your husband? I says, the kids are the priority for the bodyguard.
Well, I would say the
It's
same
like,
thing, though.
note to self, let me take out a higher insurance policy.
But I
No,
mean,
that
like,
was-
I would, your husband, you think you could fend for himself. Like, kids should be the priority.
Yeah,
I
kids
support that.
should prioritize. And your dad being so friendly of the nation, I says, quit associating with
You know
him.
what? If he was kidnapped, so they'd probably like let him go.
Like, you talk too much, man.
Yeah. And he even goes and says, he's known to be the underground. Don't go with them. And your dad told me, he says, well, she said she's your relative. I says, no, she's not.
Oh, Dad.
So I'm
See,
glad
that's-
that there's a lot of people that watch over us, but
Mm.
one bodyguard with him, he's a police. He's a off-duty police.
All right. Well,
And
do you have more-
I
Oh.
think that's one of the reasons why they should have an awareness month is because the stereotypes like dad believed of, oh, she's your relative. It's okay. It's safe. And so I think that's, that's not a reason why there's an awareness, but like there's certain stereotypes that go along with different races that form biases. And so hence the awareness, and people should just be aware.
But to add, nothing happened to us in there. I think it's just the fear
Oh, no.
in me that was, I think, overreacted with my relatives, afraid of my life to protect me. They overreacted and they instilled the fear on me.
Well,
Mom,
I think at that time there were some missionaries that were
Yeah.
kidnapped.
There
weren't
still
there?
are. No, there still are people that are kidnapping America. And when my kids go to visit, when we all go to visit the Philippines, we're getting armed guards for my children. 100% mother.
They have
For
I
my
have a
little
lot of
ginger
volunteers
boy.
already. Yeah.
They what? I'm sorry, what?
I have a lot of volunteers. We have connection there already.
At least your daughter looks a little bit okay.
No, she looks 100% American.
Well, she at least has dark hair. She doesn't have blonde hair, blue eyes like two of mine, or red hair and blue eyes like one of yours.
Well,
Um,
protect them all.
do you have anything else you'd like to say, Mom?
Well, yeah. I mean, to reiterate my experience with the VA, I mean, they're not negative. A lot of them are positive, and I love working for the veterans, and I love working for the VA, and I wouldn't trade it with anything else. Would I do it again? Yes, I would do it again. I mean, I get to the point that everybody knows me, and they know me. I'm a hard worker, and I impose a lot of not fear, but respect. Some of them are fear.
And fear, yeah.
Yeah.
You
But-
instilled fear in your daughters growing up. So,
But anyway, I love the
And our
US,
friends.
Yeah. I mean, like what I said, this is a great place to stay. And I've been to other countries, like Haiti and Dominican Republic and Mexico and all that. I mean, there's no place like here. So of all these people that are questioning about whether this is a great country or not, I said, try to live in another country and then find out yourself.
ooh, solid advice, Mom.
And I'm glad. I just wanted to mention a couple things that, because we're talking about not just Filipinos, but Asian Americans and all Pacific Islanders. But so there were 3,800 hateful incidents that happened within the first year of COVID within the United States, and including people making the term Kung flu and calling it the Chinese virus.
Yep.
So a lot of Asians were targeted because of that. And then we also need to remember March 16th of 2021, when there were 8 killed in Atlanta, 6 of them being Asian women, which kind of sparked the short-lived Asian Lives Matter movement. But I wanted to talk about that. I also wanted to mention, I forgot to mention earlier, that there is a theme every year as with pretty much every observance month. So the theme for Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month is advancing leaders through, collaboration.
Good penmanship.
It looks like cold dib, but it's collaboration. Advancing leaders through collaboration. And then also, I wanted to just mention that there are a few famous Asian Americans, and there's not a few. There's quite a bunch. Number one, Vice President Kamala Harris.
Yes.
I love this man, Bruno Mars. Bruno, if you're listening, we must meet. And also another person that we must meet, Jo Koy. I've seen you twice. Jo Koy. We must meet. I am a nurse. I'm your mother's dream.
Don't forget Arnell.
Our Arnell journey.
Oh, yes. They were in Dallas like last week, 2 weeks ago, I think.
They were just in Nashville as well.
And yeah, they're touring.
Pacquiao.
Mm.
And what's his name?
Bebo. Apple D Dap. Apple D Dap.
How do you?
Black Eyed Peas.
Yes.
And some non-Filipinos. We have the comedian Margaret Cho.
Yes, she was actually one of the first Asians I ever saw on TV.
And there's a director. Oh no, I don't know.
There was a Filipino
I can't
in
read
the some chef or something. Like I know he stars in martial arts a lot. I don't know his name, but he's a half Filipino.
Jackie Chan.
No. He's a half.
Well, there's him.
Diamond Phillips is a half. He's a half Filipino.
Oh,
is it really? Yeah. I truly thought he was Native American.
Well, he plays Native American.
Many people think you are truly Native American.
I'm not offended by that.
There's a lot of Asians famous and everything like that. And, with all the, their Hollywood is implementing kind of like a melting pot now. So more power to
Crazy Rich Asians. Oh. So do you think that the U.S. has become more accepting of people, or that you've become more tolerant of not caring about being accepted?
I think at my age right now, I think it's both. But I think Americans come to their senses with all this movement now. I think there's still some discrimination in some part. I think you cannot take that away. I mean, there's a lot, there's some discrimination in some people. And, I think tolerating that way doesn't hurt you or something, or they don't, but like all Asians and everything, they might tolerate the older one, but when it comes to their young ones, we're kind of like very protective, and we fight from what is right, and we are citizens anyway. So
yes, ma'am, you are.
Yeah. So, and I think, we become good citizens. Nothing. I mean, you do all the things that a good citizen does, and that should be for everybody. And a lot more people are accepting right now.
Mom, we ask all of our guests starting last week this question. What is your favorite, 2 weeks ago, not last week. What is your favorite self-care practice?
It's weird, so don't feel weird on me. The only thing that I can think that I really carried through is playing the little drummer boy.
Oh,
Since childhood, I like that music. And when I came to the US, it's my go-to when I feel sad. And I play it during any time. It doesn't have to be Christmas. Sometimes that music plays during summer. And I play that all the time, and I become nostalgic. Little Drummer Boy is not even a Philippine song, but I love that. I don't know. It
still makes me cry, Mom.
It's just something that, from childhood up to now. My goodness, I'm already.
You don't have to say.
Okay, very, very, like very mature.
Because I'm only 29, so you're 40.
Nope, that's gross. She was 11 then.
I know. Asians are good at math, and that did not happen.
You've actually given 2 examples of a half Asian not being good at math.
Right. So anyway, reminder, Facebook will no longer be playing our Facebook will no longer be playing our podcast episodes directly from our player. We will share a link on our Facebook page to Apple Podcasts if you want to grab it there. Otherwise, again, you can always go to our website, anothersituationpodcast.com. There you can find a link to 3 or 4 of the major podcast players, and you can listen to it there, or you can listen to it directly on their website. And I just want to bring up a couple of our previous guests. So once again, it's Stroke Awareness Month, the month of May. Go to the YESS Foundation, and for every $25 you donate toward the donation, you will be entered in to win autographed NFL gear, swag, whatever you want to call it. I believe this is going through the month of May and June. This is to help support Rachel and Ray's foundation from episodes number 2 and 3.
Can I say something random?
Yes.
For people that also listen to the podcast Crime Junkie, Britt had a stroke. I don't know if you're aware of that, but she's also very young.
Heard that.
Yeah. So prayers for her. And somehow we should try to get her connected to Rachel's group. Yes.
That wouldn't be bad. I think she had a spontaneous brain bleed from what
I don't know.
I remember. And showered multiple showered some clots as well.
Mm.
I also wanted to say that from episode 11, Ashley and Eric. Ashley had posted an update a while ago, and if you're not on our Facebook page, you may not have seen it, but Eric is doing really well, and there is an update on our Facebook page. So scroll down and check out that update. He's doing well. Excited for them. They still have a road ahead of them, but still, it's nice to see a good update for them.
Yeah, they just hit their year anniversary of his accident. What, a couple weeks ago?
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Jamie, we also posted an update on our Facebook page. Jamie from episode, I want to say 19, but I'm not sure. Nope, 16. I have that turned upside down. Jamie from episode 16, who is looking for a kidney donor, she has officially been listed for a donation at Emory. Her update is also on our Facebook page. I think they may still be accepting donors, so you can always click on that link to apply to be a donor for her. I mentioned Ryan again. We did have lunch with him. It was a great lunch. Thank you, Ryan, for joining us. Thank you for signing Craig's book. And again, you can find his book, Gravity Drive, on Amazon.com. If you go to our website, you click on his profile, there is a link. If you go to our webpage and click on his guest link, you can go directly to the Amazon page to order that book. Don't forget to listen to Elise's new podcast, Here's What I Know. She's getting married this weekend, so give her some time to get a new episode out. And Andrea.
Andrea, how you doing, girl?
We got your email. Thank you so much.
Very nice. Thank you.
Guys, Andrea sent us a very lovely email through our website, and it was nice to hear. She's getting a shout out.
No, stop doing that. Stop.
I can't.
Yes, you can. You physically can stop doing that.
I cannot.
Oh my goodness, you can. We can reprogram you to not do that.
I don't want to.
I do. I'm just stop.
Well, then you stop. Don't do it anymore.
I never did it. It's you. Andrea, anyways, thank you to our other listener in Indiana.
Yay.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to say, hopefully, Andrea, you don't drive like Kara and you're not going to drive off the road with hearing your thing. I forgot to mention this. There's something called a care package on this website for Asian Americans, and it includes poems, meditation films, and this is a quote, other cultural nutrients for times like this. And it's from SmithsonianAPA.org/CARC/. Anyways,
we can post that in the podcast notes.
Yes.
Is it something people can order or?
No, you can go. You can actually click on the links and listen to the poems or the meditation. I'm falling asleep and twitching next to me, by the way.
Yeah, I'm getting tired too.
Okay, so I think that's it. Is that it?
Dear God, I hope so.
Okay, Mom, close us out.
Oh, mga kaibigan, hanggang sa susunod ng kabanata ng Another Situation, huwag kayong magsawa na pakinggan ito kasi very informative ito. Shout out to the Philippine people and to all the nurses. Happy Nurses Week. All the nurses from UK. My relatives live there. Also with Kuwait, Singapore, Hong Kong,
Canada.
I forgot Canada. And
Houston,
and Philippine
nurses.
Toronto.
Yeah. And
So,
shout out to my college friend at, don't forget our 50th, I mean, not 50th, our reunion in Las Vegas. Nursing group, nursing prayer group, my high school friends, and the beautiful people group. Thank you so much.
Mom, thank you
love
so
it.
much for coming on and talking
Thank
with
you,
us.
Mama. Bye. Mahal kita, listeners.
Bye. Salamat po. If you'd like to reach out to us or submit your situation, please contact us at anothersituationpodcast@gmail.com or find us on Instagram at Another Situation Podcast. We're also on Facebook at Another Situation.
Another Situation is produced and edited by Point 5 Pinoy. Music is written and performed by Tim Crow.